This video is dedicated to the beginners out there who are looking into bodyweight training but don't know where to start. Although there are many niches in calisthenics training such as basic fitness, plyometric or freestyle calisthenics, bodyweight strength training, weighted calisthenics, isometric skills and balance-oriented training, and a lot more. You're going to need to master the basics and build a strong and reliable foundation that you can build off of, which is precisely what this video is about, before you think about becoming Isaac Newton's next worst enemy, including movement progressions on push, pull, core, and leg exercises of all skill ranges, how to warm up properly, quick and simple diet tips, and even a free PDF guide I made called Calisthenics 101 before you start. I highly recommend you check it out. It's a completely free download. I have it in the description. It's a free 10-minute read I designed purely to help as many people as possible. And while this video might be a bit overwhelming or info heavy, this is exactly what I would say to my younger self if I had the chance to do so. No matter what sport you play or what training you go through, you are going to need a warm-up to properly prepare your body for what is to come. Taking at least 5 to 10 minutes before every session, because calisthenics can be incredibly taxing on the joints due to its full body exercise nature and the compound movements involving all of these joints, including the wrists, elbows, shoulders, knees, and hips if you're training legs. Warming up can help you prevent injury. Injuries are pretty much the #1 thing you want to avoid when it comes to strength training, because one injury can set you days, weeks, even months without any training whatsoever, losing all of your progress, and also you don't want to hurt yourself. Warming up can also increase your performance, giving you more energy, having your body more prepared, and it may even take longer for fatigue to set in. In my eyes, a good warm-up involves warming up the joints, stretching your muscles, and then warm-up sets to prepare yourself for the movement. Warming up your joints through resistance bands, resistance-free exercises can help prevent injuries in those joints that are not paired to handle heavy loads, and it can help strengthen these joints to once again prevent injury and joint pain. Now, stretching your muscles has a variety of benefits. Stretching can help with recovery, joint and muscle mobility, and it can help you prime those muscles to get them ready for the exercises ahead, once again preventing injury. Now, for movements and warm-up sets, not only does this help with priming the muscles to get ready for your working sets, but it can also help you prevent injury like everything else. But this is different. Not only will your muscles be more prepared, but if they are not prepared, if you feel something off during a warm-up set, you will know not to continue to your working sets, because odds are if you go into your working sets with something feeling off, you could easily tear a muscle and injure yourself. Don't skip your warm-ups. You might feel goofy doing them before every workout, but just like every athlete in just about every sport, you're gonna need to warm up. And first, we have a movement incredibly familiar to calisthenics, the push-up, targeting the chest, shoulders, and triceps, an incredibly simple exercise and completely equipmentless. For every plank pushing exercise you see, there are a few form cues that you are going to need to follow, including an engaged core, engaged glutes keeping a plank-like posture, your elbows at a 45-degree angle or less, depending on what variation you are using, and then a full range of motion. If this means your chest touching the floor or your chest touching your hands, you always want to have a full range of motion. Even the slightest mistake in form can completely mess up your entire movement, including not engaged core, your glutes not engaging, your elbows more than a 45-degree angle causing injury, or a less than full range of motion not getting the most out of your movement. However, if you cannot do push-ups yet, what you're going to want to do is find methods to push less of your body weight. In a normal push-up, you are pushing about 60 to 70% of your body weight with your chest, shoulders, and triceps, so we want to lessen that to make the exercise easier. Methods can include knee push-ups, elevated push-ups, eccentric push-ups. These are only the top half and down of the movement, because it is proven that your body is 120% stronger in the lowering half of just about every movement. These can help you develop the foundational strength you need to be able to do the standard push-up. Now, if you're a beast and you want to make them harder, you can always do them by doing them faster, incorporating your fast twitch muscle fibers and pushing with more intensity, or you could do the opposite and slow them down, increasing time under tension. You could do them with more depth. In this footage, I'm using parallettes, but you can also use a stack of books. Depth also increases time under tension and your range of motion. You can add an instability factor on rings, forcing your muscles to work harder to keep you from falling on your nose. You can do them weighted, just adding more weight to your body so you are pushing with more intensity. You can focus on more unilateral exercises, pushing more weight with one side of your body, or for just about every pushing exercise, you can elevate your feet to push more of your body weight. However, this might target other muscles like the upper chest and the shoulders more than other muscles. The chest is responsible for shoulder flexion and pressing horizontally. Your shoulders are responsible for pretty much all of your straight arm movements and upward pressing, and your triceps are entirely focused on your elbow extension. And next up, we have the dip, nicknamed the bodyweight squat, and for good reason, targeting the chest, shoulders, and triceps in the downward plane of movement. Its elevated nature forcing you to push close to, if not 100% of your total body weight. If you don't have dip bars, you can always just use chairs and other furniture. Personally, I just use the handrails at my local park. First, you're going to want to learn how to support your full body weight under your straight arms, and eventually learning to push your shoulders down. This is called shoulder depression. You're going to want to be able to hold this position for time to get the most out of your dip and to do your dips safely. And after you are used to that position, you're going to want to work negatives, going as far down as you can comfortably go. Preferably aim for 90 degrees in the shoulders compared to your torso, not 90 degrees in your elbows. But if you cannot go that far down, then just go as far down as you can go, strengthening yourself in that plane of movement and hopefully working on your mobility down the line. And next, we're going to want to balance our pushing strength with our pulling strength with the pull-up, targeting the back and the biceps. For just about every pulling movement that you're going to do, keep your shoulders depressed and your shoulder blades retracted, fully activating those back muscle fibers, actually building your back. For the pull-up, you need a strong grip, retracted shoulders, activated core, chin over the bar, limiting shoulder external rotation as much as you can, keeping your elbows internally rotated with absolutely no kipping from the lower body. If you can't do pull-ups, you need to start with rows. You can do rows on a straight bar, gymnastics rings, or even just a table. First, you're going to want to start with assisted rows, assisting with your feet, really pulling your shoulders back with every rep, making sure you are building that back. And just like with the push-ups, you're going to extend your feet and elevate your feet to make the exercise harder, preparing you for that first pull-up. And while you build the foundational strength for the pull-up, you're going to want to build your grip strength as well. Just simply hanging on a bar, getting used to holding your body weight up on the bar. Eventually developing the strength to move your shoulders within the plane of movement and eventually evolving into a active hang. Once you have the proper grip strength, you are going to want to prepare for your first pull-up using bands, assisting the movement by pulling less of your body weight and helping you get used to the movement plane in itself. Next, work towards eccentric pull-ups. Once again, your body being 120% stronger in the lowering phase of the movement. And if you find yourself stuck in a specific point during the movement, isometric holds can really be a benefit. And just like push-ups, if you find pull-ups too easy, you can also do them fast with explosive pull-ups. You can add the variable of instability with rings. You can do weighted pull-ups and even unilateral pull-ups and training for the one-arm pull-up. Your traps make up your shoulders and middle back, responsible for vertical and horizontal shrugging, and the lats making up the side of your back is responsible for your arm abduction and extension, with your biceps being responsible for elbow flexion. Next, you're going to want to condition your core for strength and stability, just like every other muscle in the body. In this case, it is very important to ignore social media and 5-minute ab workouts, because these workouts do not focus on strength and more like a bad cardio session. When it comes to core conditioning, it's important to not go overboard on your core exercises, because you already use your core in a number of different calisthenics exercises like push-ups and pull-ups. When it comes to core exercises, however, you are going to want to focus on compound movements targeting the entire core. It's pretty much useless to target one part of the core unless it is the obliques, since your core works as a unit for isometrics and compression. So we are going to pick exercises that target both. For isometrics, the best exercises I can provide would be the hollow hold and the plank, all variations of such. Try to hold these for time, keeping your form nice and tight. And for core compression, there are many variations to hanging raises and even lying leg raises, or just core compression exercises you can do on the floor if you don't have a pull-up bar. Just a quick note, doing core exercises will strengthen your abdominal muscles. They will not show your abs. To have your abs showing, you are going to want a low body fat percentage, and we will cover that later in the video. When it comes to training your legs with your body weight, if you are active at all whatsoever, bodyweight squats are most likely not going to be enough. So when it comes to adding intensity, we are going to focus on unilateral trainings such as lunges, side squats, pistol squats, and other unilateral variations. And while we have all of these progressions, we could always add range of motion or just weight into our exercises to make them automatically more difficult. If you're serious about calisthenics, and you don't look forward to training legs, I still recommend you do a little leg training, because you need your legs in various plank exercises, and for, let's say, L-sits, hanging L-sits for that leg extension, and just the hip and quad stability when it comes to other exercises, especially the planche, where you use your glutes to keep your legs straight. If you're not serious about becoming Newton's next worst enemy and defying gravity, but you're more focused on basic fitness and just wanting to be strong, I highly recommend you do train legs seriously, just like every other muscle group. Because if you're just focused on building muscle and being strong, there's really no reason not to train legs. Now, when it comes to diet, I do not believe there's a supreme diet when it comes to every person in the world, because everyone has different body types, different goals to lose weight, gain weight. People have allergies. Some people have inhibitants such as high blood pressure, blood sugar, diabetes, etc., etc. But there are a few concrete rules to follow concerning diet that affects everyone equally. First up, whether or not you want to gain weight or lose weight, it is all about calories. And the first thing to consider is your basal metabolic rate. This is the calories you burn just existing. Whether you are sitting around all day, you are still burning calories your body uses for energy and to keep up your immune system and such. Just breathing burns calories. And then the next thing to consider is your active calories, the calories you burn while walking, running, training, actually being active. BMR and your active calories together make up your maintenance calories. You want to find your maintenance calories, because when it comes to your maintenance calories, that is pretty much all you need to know when it comes to gaining or losing weight. To find your maintenance calories, personally, I just use an online calorie calculator. It's completely free. I'll leave one in the description, just a simple browser calorie counter. When it comes to gaining weight, you want to eat more calories than your maintenance calories, so you can either gain weight and or gain muscle. But you can only gain muscle if you are training with intensity and consistency. When it comes to losing weight, you're going to eat less calories than your maintenance calories, so your body looks for those missing calories and takes it from your fat stores. This is called a calorie deficit. You have to use a calorie deficit to lose weight or fat. When it comes to your diet concerning your training and even your basic overall health, there are still some things you should never ever consume, such as alcohol, junk or overly processed foods, and unnecessary sugar. These can easily lead to weight gain and even reduced recovery. When it comes to what you should aim for concerning your diet, it is the overall well-known recommended dose of protein being 1 gram per pound of body weight. Popular protein sources can include eggs, lean meats, nuts, beans, and even protein powders, protein drinks, and protein supplements. However, do not replace your whole meals with a protein supplement. Always use them as a backup, like if you can't meet your protein intake for that day and you just need the quick protein, or as a time saver if you can't cook a full meal with the time that you are given. And then this is some pretty general diet knowledge. You're going to want to stick to whole foods, being foods with one ingredient, that being fresh produce such as listed: eggs, meats, nuts, beans, fruit, veggies, things that you would find in the wild and be able to eat essentially. And then drinking lots of water. You never want to be dehydrated. This will kill your energy levels, destroy your health. Never dehydrate or parch yourself just to look lean. You want to stay healthy, and having a healthy diet can keep you lean anyways. When it comes to macros themselves do actually have a calorie count, protein being 4 calories, carbs being also 4 calories, and fat being 9 calories. So when it comes to carbs fuel your workouts. I would usually use carbs in my pre-workout meal, and then I would only aim for fats for healthy long-term energy. They also help improve brain performance and immune system performance, and then prioritize protein for muscle recovery. When it comes to eating after your workout, I don't believe this mythical metabolic window actually exists. You don't have to eat 2 hours after your workout, or less than 2 hours, of course, but your body takes 2 days to even absorb all of the nutrients that you ate 2 days ago. So really all that matters is that you eat after your workout, you prioritize protein, and stick to your calorie intake, and you should be just fine. Now, this might seem like a lot of information and incredibly overcomplicated. You might be a little overwhelmed. However, you need to take it one step at a time, especially if your diet isn't so great right now. If you jump straight into applying all of these attributes to your diet, you're probably not going to like it. And if you don't like what you're eating, and if you don't like obsessing over all of the little things in your diet, you are not going to stay consistent. You are going to step out of line, you're going to get demotivated, and you're going to give up. When it comes to applying these to your diet, you are going to take one step at a time. For example, for 1 week, you might try to implement more protein sources. Another week, you'll have those protein sources and you'll be used to eating those, and then next you might want to limit your junk food intake. Just take it one step at a time, and it'll be a lot easier to stay consistent. And then finally, when it comes to calisthenics, you're going to want to stay lean, preferably sub 20% body fat. However, some people might find this incredibly hard to keep up, but all it takes is a controlled diet and staying consistent, training hard, and you should get there just through calisthenics training in general, because most calisthenics athletes are lean just due to the calisthenics training nature, because the full body movements implement a lot more muscles, burn a lot more calories. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful at all, I highly recommend you check out the free PDF guide in the description that I made. It's a quick read, and when paired with this video, you'll have just about everything you need to start your calisthenics journey. And if you want to know how I started my calisthenics journey, check out this video on screen now. Spoilers, I made a lot of mistakes. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.